Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MRL Monday Night Mayhem Cup Series, brought to you by MRL Broadcasting, live on YouTube. Mean Gene Money, the voice of MRL, here with you tonight. I've got KK running the production booth, and ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get any bigger than this. We are live at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for our regular season finale. That's right, these guys have raced 10 races here in our regular season to make their way into a 12 driver 7 race playoff, and we have had some amazing racing as we are heading down the final stretch. Right now, 6 drivers have made their way in by way of victory, and that leaves 6 spots for the other guys to try to get in on points. We're going to break that down in just a minute, but KK, how about last week when we see Buddy Sully come out of nowhere, take that dub and steal Willy Wonka's golden ticket? Buddy Sully, what a run last week.
Yeah, I mean, Gene, once again, hey, thanks for, I'm glad to be here with you in the booth again, me, Gene. And yeah, Buddy Sully, what a great drive last week at Homestead, able to punch his ticket in, especially now that he showed up for this race. That will qualify him into the playoffs, round of 12 for the next week, as this weekend will cap off our championship racer at Auto Club for the regular season championship.
Buddy Sully last week at Homestead, what a clean race by the MRL Monday night drivers, as we only saw 2 cautions, super clean, 3 wide racing, super exciting there on that banking at Homestead. Buddy Sully, he took the pole, he led more laps than anybody else, dominated the race, and he won with a 4-second lead. Amazing race. Closing moments of that race, though, we saw a little bit of frustration when Matthew Fritz overtook Tony Iverson with just 4 laps to go. Fritz ended up making his way into that 4th place position. Wonder if that's going to lead over into something this week. We're going to find out soon. Right now, these guys are qualifying, and we're just about 90 seconds away from getting this thing started. And remember that name, KK, Buddy Sully? I'm looking at the top of the qualifying poll. Guess who I see up there?
That's right. Buddy Sully right now at the top of the poll list. Right behind him, that's Justin Parham in the 18 and 71 of David Cook. And Kenneth Brenner looked like he hit the top 4, and your top 5 would be topped off with Bobby Dotson.
28 drivers are going to be competing this week. We are ready to get this thing started. I'm Mean Gene Money, KK in the production booth, and we are MRL.
Right, Mean Gene, we're all gridded up. Drivers are getting into their cars, waiting for the command to start your engines. But we have a huge field tonight here, Mean Gene, looking good so far.
This is pretty amazing. More cars still joining. This will be our largest field of the year here in our regular season finale. And look at that. Joe Volpus is also going to make an appearance. Joe, remember, he had to stop running even though he was one of those top 12 drivers due to work constraints. Good to see Joe Volpus back out there. And hey, I'll tell you what. Last year here at Auto Club, we saw Tony Iverson take that win. Tony Iverson third in points. 38 points behind Kenneth Redinger, but this thing is over. I hear the fat lady singing in the background. You can put the uniforms in the truck, back up the moving vehicle, and put your car into it. Kenneth Redinger has already secured that regular season championship, giving him those playoff points getting ready for next week at the Roval. But there's still a lot to be determined. David Owens and Tony Iverson are just 1 point away from each other. Owens took over that point from Iverson last week, so those two got to figure it out. Duval, Mero, David Cook, Bobby Dotson fighting for 5th through 8th. And the big battle today we're going to keep an eye on is for that last playoff spot between Justin Parham and Steve Lewis. These guys are separated by just 6 points. So that's going to be the 88 and the 18 car. We got to keep a close eye on that battle. Right now, though, KK, looks like we got him moving around the track. Buddy Sully in the 21 will be your pole sitter, and he's chosen that inside lane to get that control. What are we thinking tonight? We saw the practice lap. Do you see who qualified? Who's your candidates for tonight?
Gene, I'm keeping my eyes on David Cook as always, because the high line does work really well here at Auto Club, but with it being cooler temperatures, look for that inside line to maybe work a little bit better than normal. But I'm got my eyes on the 71 of David Cook.
David Cook, he runs strong. We've seen him take more than one victory in both of our big-time series, Wednesdays and Mondays. Also tonight, we see a lot of drivers from our Wednesday night Xfinity series making an appearance here in some privateer one-shot races. Good to see it, and that's going to bump our field up to, man, I'm going to have to borrow your toes to make it this count. 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29. Grit, the pace car is off. They are about to go into that Geico restart zone. Buddy Sully on the inside. He is going to lead them. They stay tight. Buddy Sully, your leader. He's got a little bit of a gap, and he's going to have Cook and Parham right behind him in 2 wide races. We are going to turn number 1 of this 2-mile D-shaped oval super speedway. 90 laps of action here today, and look at these guys already using multiple lanes. KK, somebody in the pits, and he is spinning. He looks like he invented a 4th lane, didn't it?
It sure did there, Mean Gene. This is amazing racing here. They usually start off the beginning of the race with a 5-wide salute here at Auto Club to show his fans just exactly what kind of racing they're to expect. But we got great racing here to start us off.
And look up top, ladies and gentlemen. How about this great? Want to give a shout out to Buddy Sully helping us with the overlays that you're seeing that Kevin Kyle is using in the booth, giving us that great creeper up top, showing you those positions as they are changing. And you also see our tree that's going to show you the drivers and just how far they are behind. MRL Broadcasting, we are on the cutting edge of broadcasting technology. If you like what you see, go ahead and take this opportunity to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. It's the holidays. Go over there, say, hey, Merry Christmas, and your Christmas present is I'm going to introduce you to MRL Broadcasting, and you too can listen to Kevin Kyle and Mean Gene Money talk about these races. Right now, speaking of racing, look at Justin Parham and Buddy Sully up front, side by side. It's going to be Sully running that outside lane, but Parham down there on that apron. He'd love to take over that lead. Remember, Parham is that driver that we talked about, him and Steve Lewis neck and neck for that last playoff position. Parham with a 6-point lead, and he'd love to push that thing up and just make his way into the playoffs with a victory. Last 2 weeks, we've seen 2 new winners, guys that were below the 12 driver playoff cut point. So who knows? We might see 3 new winners in a row. But right now, Buddy Sully, he thinks he's going to be the guy that's going to take it home. That'd be neat to see back-to-back wins, kind of a la what we've seen Redinger do.
Yeah, but he's definitely capable of bringing back-to-back wins. just really a field, class of his own field up here on the 21. So these guys have their work cut out trying to chase down that 21 as Parham and David Cook start to get a little bit of a breakaway. As you can see now, here comes Parham on the inside of Buddy. Buddy's going to dive it down, try to do a little bit of aero blocking. Gonna make it a little tougher for Parham. There's gonna get a little tight behind him. Now he's gonna get a run though. Parham's gonna have a run down the front stretch here.
Yeah, these top three cars starting to break away. But look at that. Kenneth Redinger is in that fourth place. And then you can see Bobby Dodson, and Jax Duvall as well. How big is that giraffe? Oh, caution.
Oh, yellow.
Looks like no good early.
Looks like Matthew Fritz there, Mean Gene. Let's take a look.
Fritz, not what he needs today. Matthew Fritz, he's number 4 in points. He's got that comfortable lead, pretty much has secured his way into it. Ooh, and he's going to say howdy doody.
Yeah, it's 48 Fritz there. I'm trying to get back.
It is, yeah. 48 is Matthew Fritz.
Okay, let's
usually the face of consistency, patience, and luck, avoiding this kind of stuff.
All right, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at it in real time here, see exactly what might have happened.
All right, that's the 9 of Kevin Brower, just on top of him. Or under him, I should. Yeah, right on top. Oh, and that's Steve Lewis.
Yeah, Steve Lewis gets loose up top on that high line. Let's take another look at it here. Keep your eyes on the 88.
Oh my. And Lewis just keeps it going. Fritz goes for a spin.
Yeah,
does he touch anything?
No, luckily the 48 is able to keep it away from the inside pit wall sand barrels there. Could have been real bad there for the 48.
Now remember, Monday Night Mayhem, we do offer 4 sets of tires and 1 fast repair, but you do not want to be using your fast repair here on lap 5. We're running 90 laps. There will be 1 point awarded for whoever leads at the halfway point, but there is no caution to separate the stages. I'm looking down in the pits. Looks like some of our leaders are coming down the pit. Buddy Sully, David Cook, and Kenneth Redinger. Those are some heavy hitters right there, taking advantage of this caution. Maybe they're going to top off on fuel. I think it's a little early, lap 7, to think about tires.
Yeah, probably just topping off, but yeah, especially with their tire sets too. Let's take a look. We can get a good look here. Oh, it looks like we got the number. We got someone in that Toyota taking tires right there.
I mean, if you got 4 pair, you might as well use them all. It's the last race of the regular season. You can't hold back anything. Taking a page out of the broadcasting booth of Major League, I'm going to say you can't hold anything back at least 9 times tonight.
All right, so let's keep our eyes on the 930. I believe he's the one that took those sets of tires there. So keep your eye on the 930. That's Evan Stewart, the newcomer here in the league. I don't think I've seen him run too often in this league there, Mean Gene. And then
no, it's his second race. Welcome back, Evan. Good to see you again.
All right, and then Joseph Wolfkus had an 18-second stop there. He might have had some damage maybe getting repaired, but keep your eyes on Joseph also. Maybe he decided to throw some tires on.
Well, Joe Volpus, he's got one of the hardcore pit leaders down there. His crew chief is really a ball buster. Ahmed, he will get after you and just lay into you, but he's also one of the most respected men in the pit. So Joe, he needs a good run today, or else he's going to be seeing Ahmed on Monday, and nobody wants that situation to unfold. Up front, though, Justin Parham, he is our leader, running in that 18 Chevrolet Jax Duvall. He's up there on that front row with him. Duvall won the opener at Charlotte. He's already made his way in. He'd love to get a few more points going into the playoffs. How do you get playoff points? Great question. You win, you get playoff points. You have a perfect attendance record, you get playoff points. And then top 8 drivers are also going to get those points. Jax Duvall right now 5th, but he is in a battle with just 12 points separating him down to that 8th place of Bobby Dodson. So today's driving by Duvall, Austin Merrow, David Cook, Bobby Dodson could determine getting 1 all the way up to 4 playoff points going in. All of those drivers also with perfect attendance will get an additional 5. But I'll tell you what, those 4 playoff points, they make a difference once you get in the playoffs, wouldn't you say, Kevin?
Oh yes, sir, man. Especially with these big fields, Mean Gene, every point's going to matter if these big fields continue to show up week after week, and especially into the playoff run for these drivers.
You know, that's something I didn't take into account when I was doing my math. I did take off my shoes because normally 20 will get me to the amount of contenders. But today, running with 27 guys, 28 guys, it gets a little bit more difficult. I'm going to need to borrow my cat's paw to count that high. So that is going to alter the amount of points that can be swung. 51 points is the maximum that you could get. Pace car is off, and we are about to go green. Justin Parham on the outside is your control car. Look at that jump he gets over Duval. You can see Jose Medina on the outside. Medina in that beautiful teal car. He's in a must-win situation. Jax Duval, Bobby Dodson tight on the inside. Medina starts to lose position. They're almost going to go 4 wide. You can see Sean Walton womp up here making an appearance. Tony Iverson is inside of there, and you can see that additional Napa car of Jonathan Quesabir making his way through. New paint scheme there for Jonathan. Jonathan also in a must-win situation. Lots of guys that have won in other series needing that win here today. And I think most of these guys, there's probably a good handful that we would not be surprised if we saw them make their way onto victory lane today. But right now, it's Justin Parham. He'd love to find his first win of the season. And he's got that number 18 Chevrolet with that beautiful Raptor paint scheme up in the front over Jax Duval. We're going to be paying attention to those guys that did pit. Buddy Sully, Kenneth Redinger. They're running back in 13th, 14th. Going to be tough to make their way through that field.
Yeah, I mean, Gene. Oh, as we see Tony Iverson making a big move there to the inside underneath Jose Medina, as he's going to take that low line into 3 and 4. Let's see how this works out. Jose is going to pinch him down there a little bit. Yep.
And Jose's going to let off. Sean Walton right ahead of them in the 23. Iverson did make the pass. Medina goes for the crossover. Iverson, he's a veteran. He is going to come down, make sure that that does not transpire. You can see the 97 of Swingle, Jonathan Quesabir in the 6, and then the 903 right there behind him. That 903 running tonight is Mr. Hillman. Hillman making his second appearance as well. Welcome to MRL, Mr. Hillman. Good to see him out there running in that 903 car. One race away from getting to pick a normal number for Alex Hillman. Look at Swingle with that speed on the outside. Another car visiting the apron and blinking too. They've got double trouble.
Yeah, I think that's well, Buddy Sally having some trouble there. He's dropping spots as he's trying to work his way back from getting that top off of fuel.
Ooh, I'm on a blimp view right here of my Farmers Only blimp, looking at the action behind Walton and Iverson, and it is tight. As you can see Hillman, you can see the 97 of Swingle, you can see Jose Medina. There is a lot of action. The 57 of Brandon Guerin coming in there. These guys are just launching it up. Tony Iverson leading that pack. And you can see, though, how close, Medina and Walton try to get there to each other. This is some exciting stuff right here as we're looking back a little bit further. Iverson in 6th, and then you can see that nest of Hornets. Other cars to pay attention to, though, that are coming up quick are those guys that pitted. You're going to see Cook and Sanders coming up real soon. Right now, though, Justin Parham with that 0.3 of a second lead over Bobby Dodson continues to lead. We're lap 13 of 90 here live at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. MRL broadcasting.
Yeah, big battle starting to head up here towards the front as Sean Walton and company are all starting to catch up here as we got a big battle between David Cook and the 6 of Jonathan Quesabir and the 25. And who's our 25 today? Jack Sanders, the Colonel.
The Colonel, defending series champion, he needs a win so he can make his way into this thing. Look at this, 3-wide racing is just becoming the norm. We saw it last week at Homestead, and now we see it again with these drivers having no problem at all running too wide. Jay Stinson in there. You know, Jay, he missed last week's race, and that dropped him from 11th to 13th from 10th to 12th in points. Stinson needs a big day. Heavy contact, the 28 running into the 57. That forces David Cook off the throttle. Austin Merrow accidentally making contact with the 57 and Brandon Guerin. I think he was on the mic. He probably said sorry, or he said go to hell. I'm not sure, but one of those things just happened. Probably the prior, not the latter, this early in the race. These boys are going at it. We're still early in this thing, only 15 laps into this run. Top 9 cars, all working on fresher tires. After that, you got Jack Sanders in that 10th spot. He did pit back, took that 5.7 pit. David Cook running in 12th. And then you got Redinger and Buddy Sully on their own strategy back there in 15th and 16th. You know, we did see Buddy Sully fade a little bit, but it kind of makes me wonder, was he getting away from these aggressive loose tires? Or was he having problems with his car? Considering his success that this guy's had, KK, I bet he's on some kind of strategy deal. Look at the 9 of KB getting loose up there in the apron as suddenly we see these guys go 4 wide. Oh, Merrow comes awful close until he and Sanders make their way through. Looks like Jay Stinson about to make quick work out of that number 9 Napa of Kevin Brower as well. Boy, when you get off the pace, this field can just eat you up quick. No one wants to let off, but that can cause wrecks down the long stretch.
Yeah, I mean, Gene, and I think that Napa Gold number 9 is not, that's Noah Jackson. He should be in the 14, but decided to give us trouble with not fixing his number before the race. So that Napa car is going to be Noah Jackson, and he should be number 14.
Noah Jackson running his first race. Welcome to MRL. Get your numbers right, you crazy knucklehead. I have enough trouble keeping track. Oh, and look at Severe say, hey, Tony Iverson, why don't you drive faster? As he gives him a little wacky poo. Jack Sanders going to make it 3 wide. Him, Jack Duvall, 903 into the wall.
28.
18 is off the pace. 13 taps him. Look at this foolishness. 3 wide. Parham, Sanders, and Duvall. Look how tight all these cars are right now. Your new leader is Richard Swingle. Bobby Dodson as well. Now Dodson cuts underneath Swingle to take the lead. Parham well off the pace, falling backwards way quickly. Unfortunately for him, this is still early in this race. Lots of guys need to pit at some point for fuel and tires, but right now they're pushing it. 18 laps on these tires. I think we're starting to see the effect. Look at Iverson, no fear, as he'll go down below and ride right on that Geico blue restart line to make his moves. He's not afraid to make that car go left and right, is he?
No, not at all. He's really holding that 13. I mean, the 13's holding that low line, but this is, if he makes this stick, I'll be impressed because he's not going to have the momentum coming off of that turn. He entered really shallow, but Tony able to make as he goes for the block, the 903 tries to put a block on Sean Walton. Doesn't work out. Sean almost loses it. Was able to get around as he follows Tony Iverson now through the field.
Wow, Hillman, he's in that 903 Till car, making it wiggle, but he held it. He did touch the wall. Speaking of touching the wall, Case of Beer, Richard Swingle having a conversation. Jack Sanders right behind them. And then we can see that 9, that's Noah Jackson making his first run here today in that Napa car. So and look at that. The 9 is off just a tad, and that allows Iverson to close that gap so fast. Iverson lets off, and what happens? You can see Duvall and Redinger close that gap. Ooh, Sean Walton and Iverson. I know those guys have talked before, running side by side. Good racing here today. Bravo to these guys for keeping it on the straight and narrow. Only one caution here today. We're lap 20 here at Auto Club, and Bobby Dodson continues to be your leader. Bobby Dodson, he's 8th in points. Pretty much has locked his spot into that 12-man playoff. But a win here could just propel this guy up into 5th, improving his playoff point situation, plus the extra 3 playoff points that go.
The 97. And
Swindle and Walton.
Yep, and here comes Tony on the inside of it.
Oh, and on the outside is going to be Jackson. These cars, I'll tell you what, these cars get sideways, and every time I can hear Vin Diesel talk about family, they're drifting so much. It gets nerve-wracking.
Yeah, this is a great track here. Everyone's doing a great job after. Oh, the 23 gets loose again of Sean. He's actually the number 3 showing up on my scoring table, but
Yeah, I was lucky to see him in practice and kind of figure out he was another one of those drivers that were going to do the switcheroo on us. Bobby Dodson continuing to lead. Justin Parham, he faded all the way back to 5th, made his way back into 2nd, just to show you how volatile this traffic positioning can be on this track. Jack Sanders running 3rd. Sanders, he has got to win to make his ways into the playoffs, tied for 15th with Kevin Brower, defending champion. Colonel Sanders running in that number 25. And he's got that beautiful Ram up on that hood. So, we're going to go ahead and call him that he's in a Dodge Charger. How about that?
yeah, let's say the NASCAR gods, answered our prayers and Dodge came back as a manufacturer of the Colonel Sanders. So yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I love it. Wish they'd come back, but they've gone electric. We're not at that stage of the game yet. Imagine a fuel stop with an electric car. I'm not sure how that would work. Do you just pay a guy to pretend to put gas into the thing?
I think you got to
that way the fans don't lose their mind. That's right. We're going to do 200 miles and then we're going to stop and we're going to recharge a battery for 2.5 hours. But don't worry, racing will resume soon.
You can really get the team involved and have them generate the electricity on, let's say, like a treadmill or bikes on the side of the pit wall.
Yeah, it'd be a hell of an intermission, kind of like Barnum and Bailey's circus. Look at that action up front. Bobby Dodson, still your leader, but you can see just how close that Parham is in that 18 Chevrolet. Behind them, Sanders, Case of Beer, and Noah Jackson bumping each other. You really see in that draft action here on Auto Club Super Speedway. Behind them, Noah Jackson, and then Alex Hillman running in 6th. So we're seeing those rookie cars having strong runs. Another thing I'm noticing right now is these cars are not being destroyed by tapping that wall. It seems like as long as your forward momentum is going, I think it's what part of the side of your car hits, right, KK? I mean, clearly, if your front right taps it, you're doomed. If your right rear taps it, you're in trouble. But is there a sweet spot on the door, kind of like on a golf club, where if you hit it in the middle, you're okay?
Oh, the 12's loose there, slamming the wall in front of Jax Duvall, as we just talking about cars not being damaged, as the 84 might have been involved with that poor car in the back.
Ooh, Hunter Hall way off the pace right there. Hunter Hall, he's down 23rd in points. He did need to win today to make his way into that championship. Not what we wanted to see for Hunter today. He has got it down on the apron. He's going to pull it into the pits. He does have a faster pair at his disposal. Might have to use it. Let's just see what kind of work goes on down there. But still, this was some tight racing. 20 laps, 6 laps into this thing. And it is until Jack Sanders where you magically see the first guy that had a pit stop. But right now, I imagine we're going to start to see these guys come into the pits very soon. These cars are getting loose and wiggling pretty hard as they are going around these tracks, especially at these higher rates of speed here. Auto Club being a super speedway, drafting, and those tires coming into effect. I'm not sure how many guys are going to think that they could just take 2 tires, especially the way that these things are getting tight coming off of these turns. Look at that 4-wide racing in the back there. That group that K. Sabir is leading. You can see Jack Sanders in there, David Cook, Sean Walton, Noah Jackson, Hillman. This is some exciting racing. And there's that 16 car of Michael Mata. Remember, he's a first-time winner just a couple of weeks ago, pushing his way into that championship. Oh, he makes contact with Redinger there. Tony Iverson watching this all unfold in front of him as well, as those guys do complete lap 27. Strong racing here, lots to be determined, as we still have 62 laps to figure this thing out. Remember, lap 45, we are going to award 1 point to who is the leader at this stage. It is only 1 regular season point, but still, when you're battling for those 8 playoff spots, you'd love that 1 little extra point to kick you up. Bobby Dodson, he needs to close that gap, 12 points behind Jax Duvall in the race for 4th place in the series. Look at Noah Jackson. Noah Jackson, this is his first race here with MRL Wednesday night, and he's piloted that number 9 Napa up into 2nd place. Good run for that rookie right there.
Yeah, Noah's doing a great job keeping up with Bobby Dodson there and Justin Parham. But the real battle, like you're saying, Mean Gene, I think is back here with Jack Sanders and Tony Iverson and this whole crew as Matt Mata almost gets loose there in front of David Owens.
That's a guy who needs a win, David Owens. David Owens, second place in points. He's already locked his way into the playoffs on points, but golly gee, he would love to get a victory here, get those extra 3 playoff points before he finds himself in that championship race. Look at Iverson trying to thread the needle. Mata comes up. Down goes the 8 of Bollinger, and we're 4 wide. Look at Kenneth Redinger behind that stuff, letting off, forcing Walton. Good awareness by Sean Walton. Sean Walton, he of the front bumper, making his, with that good spatial awareness and not just driving a hole straight through Redinger. And behind him, Jay Stinson as well. Great driving here. 903 stuck in the middle. That's Alex Hillman. And the rookie as well with great awareness. These guys are really holding their line, KK, and just making it work here today.
Yeah, there goes Case of Beer. He definitely slowed off the pace. I'm not sure if he brought that thing in the pit lane. Yeah, Jonathan's going to be bringing that in the pit lane there, Mean Gene.
Now, Jonathan, he is a veteran super speedway winner. We've seen him win trucks before on the speedways, so no stranger to strategy and tactics. That involves tires as well as fuel. He could be taking the short pit right here just so he can come back out and maybe run a second faster per lap than those other guys and maybe close that gap. You know, Case of Beer, he's in a situation where he does not care about that stage victory. All he cares about is that overall win. I'm watching Case of Beer in the pits, and he is taking 4 tires as well as getting fuel. So right now, Case of Beer might be setting the precedent as far as the strategy for these guys moving forward. He is taking 4 tires. Oh my word, Walton and Jack Sanders so close to each other. It's amazing what happens when you're off pace.
Yeah, Sean had a moment there, almost lost the car, able to keep it under control. But yeah, I think Case of Beer and company lap 30 out of 90. So expect him. He's going to probably just try to do this equally, maybe do 30, 30, and 30 for a total of 90 laps here. As it seems like we got some good green flag racing, but I do feel like we might have a caution here coming up, you know, anytime with this type of racing so close to each other.
Now, Case of Beer, he's teammates with Bobby Dodson and Michael Mata. So I would not be surprised to see Mata and Case of Beer follow a similar strategy. So don't be surprised if you see the 16 and the 32 decide to come in. Right now, the 32 is your leader, and that 16 of Mata, he is in a side-by-side battle with Tony Iverson.
Oh,
you know, Tony Iverson dominated. Go ahead.
Oh, we had a car get loose control there, go towards the inside barrier of the backstretch. I didn't pick up who it was, but all black cars, all I saw there.
Get some color in your life, boys. This isn't the Wizard of Oz. It's afterwards where they go into that scene. Whew. Oh, they are getting loose.
Yeah. It was whoever's behind Buddy Sally there almost lost it. I think that was Matthew Fritz. Yeah, the Matthew Fritz, they're having trouble with those hot tires now on the 48.
It's amazing how quick the hot tires go from being your friend to being your enemy. I'm really interested in what's happening with Iverson and Mata here. You know, the beginning of the year, we just saw Kenneth Redinger, Tony Iverson dominating these races, and then all of a sudden we get more deeper into the race, and we're seeing these other names start to rise to the top. David Cook, he took a couple of wins. He's got one less start than those other drivers, but the 71 running third currently, that's another guy you got to pay attention to in the playoffs. But, you know, when the pan gets hot, that's when you throw the eggs on. And right now, there's not a hotter driver than Buddy Sully and Michael Mata. Right now, Mata, he's still running up in 7th. Buddy Sully, he's back in 16th. But remember, he took that early pit stop. Maybe he took that gas thinking he could push this thing with just 2 pits, whereas taking it on 1 pit, whereas taking tires and gas on lap 2, we can see that some other drivers might be thinking they're going to have to do 2 pit stops. They're going to make us count backwards, aren't they?
They are.
Wow, look at this. Tony Iverson, he is just definitely running a pace right now. And how about our new leader? That is going to be Noah Jackson finding his way up into the front and pulling away. He don't care about fuel. He's just here to make a name for himself. All I do is win. Noah Jackson running in that 9 Napa car with that lead over David Cook. Caution is out. Second caution of the day.
Yeah, it looks like Hunter Hall got in the incident there. Let's take a look.
Boy, not what he needs. Poor Hunter. He is the recipient of second caution. He's been part of both. Hey, vientos, huh?
Not sure what happened to Hunter. He looks like he's bringing it down on the backstretch. He might have just been calling it a day. I'm not quite sure. Let's speed this thing up. I can't believe that caused a caution.
No, nor can I. I did see a little bit of contact between the 97 and the 23, but nothing to call it out. Yeah, still good racing up front. Cars making light contact with each other.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, Mean Gene.
And I believe we're going to see the pits come to life at this stage.
But for guys like Jonathan Case of Beer, I don't know if he got trapped. He's going to get the lucky dog, but that really did not go in his favor there with him pitting early and getting caught up in that.
No, he definitely had a strategy in his head, and now that thing is just going to flip it upside down. Other cars of note that are a lap down, Steve Lewis not needing to be down there. Remember, Lewis is in a battle with Parham for that last spot coming in to the playoffs on points. Now, I keep saying Parham and Lewis are battling for that last spot, but if some other driver below that top 12 pulls off a win, suddenly both of those guys are on the outside looking in, and then it would be Mason Smalley being the last person in on points. Smalley with a nice lead over those two guys, unless Smalley just has a terrible day, which it looks like. I'm getting this in from the pits. Mason Smalley has actually parked his car, and with this many people, we're going to have to do math, Kevin. This is not what I was looking forward to on a Monday night.
No, the technology hasn't got us that far where we can just look at a monitor and it tells us exactly what's going on. So just bear with us, and your guess is as good as ours.
Well, I tell you what, though, I got one of these Google phones, and we're gonna play games and see exactly how many points people get for finishing in certain positions. So Mason Smalley back in 29th, it looks like he would get 8 points for that finish. So if Smalley got 8, that would put him at 94 points. 6, so that would put 20. Ooh, math is so hard. 19 behind Parham. Wow, so if Parham could put 18th, so he could, with this many drivers, there's going to be a lot of switching. Nobody's safe. It's kind of like when you bring your girl to prom and the entire football team shows up. Okay. You might go home alone. So these boys need to be cautioned. Okay. Now, that is your second caution of the day. Looks like a few cars taking this opportunity to go into the pits and get 4 freshies and fuel. Really good running, though. That is our second caution. That one was a little bit sus. I'm sure it occurred because of the speed of the cars right now. 23 cars, 24 cars being shown on that lead lap once Case of Beer makes his way back around. Case of Beer will be in the back. Unfortunate for him. If I was him, I'd go ahead and pit again anyway. Just give me a splash of fuel. Not going to make much of a difference since whatever strategy he was running was kind of thrown out of the window there with that activity. Poor Jonathan. He got to win today. He needs that win. He runs strong on these super speedways.
And have other by a guy just pulling off the track and parking it. I mean, it's got to be frustrating. I mean, like, come on, Hunter, just, have a little more etiquette.
Hunter's fault. I mean, Hunter's just pulling over. You know, it's kind of like the incident that occurred recently with the Chevrolets. Some people were saying that Byron cheated. I never heard Byron ask anyone to do anything, and he's just driving his car. Now, if you want to talk to the drivers of Trackhouse and RCR, you know, that's an entirely different conversation. All right, we are going green again, and you can see as Noah Jackson is going to lead him around the track. He is looking strong here in his first race. Noah Jackson. Behind him, you can see Justin Parham as well. Parham is in that win and you're in situation. David Cook outside of him. Hey, there's Andrew Bolander. He's one of the stronger drivers in our Wednesday night series, running in that number 8 Lucas Chevrolet. Good to see him out. Toyota, good to see him out there. Ooh, Tony Iverson getting a little wild with it. Michael Mata. And I see the 53 of Colin Bollinger. So Bolander and Bollinger, a couple of Wednesday experts out here showing these Monday boys just how fast they can take a cup car. Lots of opportunities to run in MRL racing. If you're a beginner, join us on our Friday nights. We run the wheel and modifieds. If you like trucks, come on out on a Thursday. Also, we have a partnership with Bonfire Racing League. You can run with them on a Tuesday night. And also, they've got a nice Saturday series running those 87 Legends. Isn't that right, KK?
Yeah, we're just trying to get that started up on Saturday mornings, and also we do Sunday mornings as our flagship series with the Next Gen. So always looking to fill out our ranks. The Next Gen series is about ready to wrap up. We're going into the playoffs of round 2. But, as we get a car loose into Michael Mata as they go 3 wide down the front stretch.
Colin Bollinger says, hey, this is how we do it on Wednesdays, Moto effort. And that's okay. Mata keeps it going straight. He's a veteran driver. He can't be surprised. You know, they're just getting that restart right now. So these cars, those tires, they're not heated up yet. Really important that those tires get up to temp. Wow. That was exciting. I guess he wanted us to get excited while we were talking about running in a bonfire league, huh?
Oh, yeah. The most definitely as, man, this battle between Mata and the 2 and Jose Medina, they're just really as we got cars up into the wall there. That's still Michael Mata and company as they're trying to get that thing straightened out. As a lot of sparks coming off of that outer safer barrier wall.
That's Jack Suval trying to get out of there. Jack Sanders trying to escape that mess as fast as he can. Wow, really crazy. Bobby Dodson, Kenneth Redding are part of that. Jose Medina on the outside, 4 wide. And you can see another Lucas Oil car down there hugging that apron. Lots of exciting racing here right now. Lap 43. Remember, lap 45 is that halfway point. We will not take a break, but we will award points to whoever is in the lead. And right now, it is Noah Jackson being shown as your leader, as he is just the class of the field. Bolander now puts that move on him, and it looks like Bolander's going to take that lead. David Cook on that rail with him. And hey, look who's creeping into the picture. Tony Iverson in that 13 Kill Tony car. He is making his way. Justin Parham still part of that. And Sean Walton making his first appearance. Walton, a veteran of the Wednesday night Xfinity League, also getting into this mess. These Wednesday guys are starting to rattle their sabers as they would like to be put into the contention. They might not win this thing, but hey, you know what? They want you to know Wednesdays are competitive too. Just because I'm in an Xfinity car doesn't mean you're better than me. And there is lap 45. Bolander says, I'll take that stage point. You guys don't need that for your little playoff run, do you? What is he like? He's pulling a Kyle Busch, right? Coming to the truck series, just stealing it.
Exactly. Man, what a battle we have up front with Sean Walton. He's holding up Justin Parham, Tony Iverson, and Bolander right now as they enter into turn 2 and exiting out of 4.
Wow, about 4 wide right there until Parham let off. Got behind Walton, and now Iverson also. Discretion is the better part of valor as he falls in behind those guys and just leaves the 53 of Colin Bollinger and Redinger to be side-by-side racing. Jay Stinson coming into the picture running in that number 2. Remember, Jay Stinson missed last week, unfortunately. Dropped him way back in points. This many drivers, though. If Lewis and Parham have a bad day, then maybe he could sneak in as well. But one way to get in for sure is win and you're in. Right now, Bolander and Jackson, top two drivers, do not have enough starts to qualify. So that Willy Wonka golden ticket, it's getting burned up like a short cigarette. No one would get to use it if things continue to unfold the way that we are looking at them right now. Lap 47. Congratulations to Andrew Bolander. First run, but hey, you know what? He's been here once and he's won one stage. Good for him. He's running up front in that number 8 Chevrolet, looking strong. Noah Jackson behind him. Then David Cook, you can see right now. Cook's got a lot to say about what happens. This is his series. He's got one less start than everybody else. Only 8. This is his 9th start out of those 10 races. David Cook would love to get his 3rd win of this season. And guess what? He's running on that outside lane just like we always see him do. And you said, KK, that's a place to be here. Can you run that lane the whole run, though, before the tires wear out? At some point, do you have to start thinking about going? Oh, Mata and Duval. Ooh, they got hooked. Mata spins him. Mata comes out of it okay, but Duval with the spin-a-rooney.
Good call there. Oh, 97 coming up on the. Oh, okay. Let's take a look here. Jax Duval. See if we can bring up
Spin-a-rooney, the spin-a-ding-ding-dong. Now you could see clearly Buddy Sully and Michael Mott are having a conversation about the latest episode of Transformers, and then just not paying attention. They got hooked somehow. And then Duval says, hey, just let off and it'll be okay. And Mata says, oh, okay. Can't let off at Auto Club. Look at Mata, keep it going. Duval still spinning. I think he's still spinning somewhere in the universe, in the multiverse.
Oh, and there's a 930.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's going to break the left rear toe link. You can look right there on the 84. That left rear toe link is definitely broke as he gets slammed in. That's going to be a fast repair, I believe, to Jax Duval's car.
Unfortunately, and that looked like the 903 of Alex Hillman tapped him.
Oh, we got Buddy Sally showing him crash. Let's take a look at Buddy here. Maybe it was just a hiccup. I think everything might be okay. It might just been a... As this is a under replay right here. Oh, Buddy has to hit the brakes as he gets brake checked. Oh, it's a pit lane.
Yeah. And again, I mean, people drifting so much. Somewhere I can hear Vin Diesel talking about family. They got to stop this drifting. It's driving me nuts. Matthew Fritz in the picture right there. Jonathan K. Sabir, Andrew Bolander. So we're seeing a lot of names. Pits as well opening up, and you can see lots of cars taking that opportunity. I'm watching a little group right here. There's Buddy Sully, the 903 of Hillman coming down. There is the 28. Lots of guys coming on down, getting a little bit of fuel, maybe some tires. I definitely see ball peen hammers out there. 903 going to go ahead and take 4 tires. Maybe just that clip didn't take him totally out. Not sure if he used a quick repair or not. But he is going to be back on. I think he did because his car looks pristine coming back out. Oh, yeah. He definitely used his quick repair, or his fast repair, because there is no damage. That car is about as clean as a whistle.
Yeah, so that's going to be Jax. Remember, in this league, they do get one fast repair. So Jax haven't used that. So let's see, just keep our eyes on if the 84 gets back up to the 16. And see what happens there as looks like. Well, let's see. Last pitted here. Yeah, everyone basically came in and pitted.
I mean, you had to at that stage, right? And considering the strategy that we saw earlier, they did pitting on lap 30. Got 40 laps to go. I'm not sure people are going to be able to push it that far. Jax Duval given the EOL penalty. Also looks like the 930 of Evan Stewart receiving an EOL for his part in all of the fun.
And you got another group coming in. Looks like they're going to be topping off here, Mean Gene. Let's take a look at this pit stops.
And these are some heavy hitters right here. You can see Sean Walton, Justin Parham, Kenneth Reddinger, 3 cars that you're looking at right there. Parham, he's been fast all day long. Also in practice, Justin Parham, He laid down the second fastest practice lap. So not a surprise that this guy is running up front here today. Oh,
Yeah,
and look at
that's
that.
all
Top
fuel
two
only
guys.
stops. So with them taking only fuel only, Mean Gene, is that a signal to us that they can make it to the end of this thing?
I mean, it has to be, or else why else would you do it, right?
That's right.
Maybe they're close, or maybe they're close, and like one more caution will get them. Maybe one more caution. Who knows? That's our third caution, though. Third caution of the day. Not bad. We are more than halfway through this thing. MRL, early in the year, they had to implement a new rule that if you were involved, if you were the cause of two accidents, they were going to give you a black flag. If you were involved in the third one, if you caused that third wreck, then you were going to get the little click on that DQ button next to your name. And that seems to have calmed things down. But right here in this last race of the regular season, you got to go for it. You just can't hold anything back.
Yeah, Mean Gene, the pace car lights are off, and they're getting ready to get fired off again here.
All right, looks like Michael Mata, he must not have taken the whatever incident he was in too bad, because he is up front. We are going green. Mata is the quick start. You got Jonathan Quesabeer sticking with him like white on rice. Both those cars looking really like white on rice. David Owens in the mix. Noah Jackson, Tony Iverson, Jose Medina, and that is going to be your top six. But right now, Michael Mata won 2 weeks ago at Bristol. He'd love to do it again. And he is here at Auto Club leading the field at lap 52 of 90. Jonathan Quesabeer in a battle back there with Noah Jackson. Oh my, and look at that pass by Jackson. He is not afraid. Caution, caution on the track.
Yeah, looks like maybe Brandon Garand here. Let's take a look, see what happened.
Oh, I Brandon guarantee you that was not his fault. Oh my, we're driving in the grass.
Yeah, let's we'll rewind this here and see exactly what took place here.
Wow. Slowly making his way back up. That is the 57 of Brandon Guerin.
Oh, the 903 and the 32.
Oh,
That's
Bobby Dodson. Not wanting to be that. Yeah, the 903. We saw him just involved in a little bit of fisticuffs between cars. But that was a full-on conflict.
Oh, Bobby just gets loose off the wall or gets turned down.
I think he might have had a little help. Who was behind him in that blue car? Looked like that blue car. He tapped that wall and that blue car didn't let off.
It's the 9. That's the real Kevin Brower.
And you can't, you know, if you're KB, you can't be letting off. If he lets off at that point, he's got two cars right behind him that are going to just smash into him. That's John Beverly in the 01 and Joe Volpus in the 07. No, no
like
contact.
Or either netcode or I don't know what happened there to old Bobby. That's unfortunate.
And then John Beverly in the 01 came in as well and just made hard front end contact. Really unfortunate for him. John as well, just like Joe Volpus, has work commitments. You can see him right there in that 01. Little shout out there to the General Lee.
Yeah, John had nowhere to go.
Luckily, though, we do have fast repairs, and sure he might be taking that opportunity.
Most definitely there, Mean Gene is
fifth caution of the day.
Yeah, fifth caution.
Michael Mata being shown as your leader. This guy's come on recently like gangbusters. For you younger folks out there, gangbusters are the people in the 1920s that would kick down the door when you were in a gang and come arrest you. My nephew asked me, I used that term. He said, what? That's not a term. I said, yes, it is. Looks like Bobby Dodson and Jax Duvall are going to receive an EOL penalty. Also, the 930 getting a penalty as well for his part in all of that fun. Remember, EOL does not mean that you are at fault. It could mean you are at fault. It could mean that your car is damaged and they want to get you in the back out of the way. Or you might as well say, hey, I'm tired of being up here with these knuckleheads. Please put me in the back of the field. Or if you're me on a Friday night, they just figure you were part of it and just give you one anyway on every caution.
That's right. They don't want to have to deal with your shenanigans up there.
Yep, they're like, they're like, oh God, there was a wreck. How is Mean Gene in fourth? Put him in the back. We don't want that up here.
So 35 laps here at Auto Club. Pace car lights are off. They're coming down the backstretch here at Fontana, California, and we're gonna see how this shakes out. Man, we got some great cars up front right now. That's Jonathan Casebeer in the 16, Michael Mata in the 16, killed. Tony Iverson there in the 13, 28 of Austin Merrow. He's had a fast car here also today, so getting ready to see exactly what these guys have in store for us here.
Yeah, remember Austin Merrow, he's one of those four drivers battling for the 5th through 8th position in the regular season points, going for those playoff points. So Austin Merrow, he would love to get up there. His buddy Mason Smalley, the M&M boys, Mason out early, so Austin Merrow, he's racing for 2 here today, would love to get up there and make it happen for the M&M guys. All right, pace car is off. Michael Mata on the inside. He is your control car. They're going into the Geico restart zone. Mata waits till late, guns it late, leaves Case of Beer behind. That's going to let Iverson almost pull up side by side with Case of Beer. And looks like Noah Jackson goes for that high line, leaving Iverson out to dry. Iverson, though, with a strong run, trying to get into the draft of the 16 of Mata. But Mata, nice little breakaway. And now Iverson cruises up into that preferred lane, following in that draft. Great start by Michael Mata. He showed earlier you can make 30 laps easy on these tires and with this fuel. After that caution, these guys just got to push about 35 more laps. I think we might be one caution away from these boys making it to the end.
Yeah, especially with this pace, we'll have to see how it pans out here.
And if anybody could stretch fuel, Tony Iverson, you know, he's been doing a lot of following. He was an early victim of the race, the gas strategy. Remember, he dominated at Charlotte until Jackson Hall took that win on gas strategy. So if anybody's going to be hyper aware of a gas strategy situation, it's going to be that 13 of Iverson in that Kill Tony car. So that guy's probably been counting down backwards since Saturday night. So he's got to be in a position, and he hasn't been leading. This guy has been following cars, letting them cut the air. So he's going to have that little bit of extra fuel. I'm not going to say he's got Joey Logano fuel lines in there, but he should be in a good position. And right now, Iverson making a strong argument to take the lead. You can see him hugging that baseline. Mata on the outside. Mata's going to have that speed there side by side. A little bit of side drafting. Iverson trying to take the air off of Mata. Not going to be able to make that pass, but look how close. Jonathan Case of Beer comes down dangerous in front of Noah Jackson. Jackson has to let off. Case of Beer pushes a couple of spots ahead of him, and right behind them.
Loose up in the back, causing a little bit of pile up there between Justin Parham and company, as they're going to get that situated as a 57 of Brandon. I think he got loose up in the wall, and everyone had to check up for that 57.
No, Brandon Guerin in that 57. He does not want to have it.
The 53 is getting ping pong between the 57. All types of damage there happening there, Mean Gene. As now they're four wide. Oh, the 2 gets turned.
There's Jay Stinson up into the 9. Oh, danger. I don't know if that's the Kevin Brower 9 or not, but that should pull out our 6th caution of the day.
Oh, it looks like Buddy might have been caught up in that also. Yeah, I'm gonna rewind this here, Mean Gene, because it all started a little bit further. I think with the let's see here. Keep our eyes.
Yeah, I can see the 53 of Colin Bollinger off the pace. Oh no, that's David Cook in that 71. He don't need that foolishness.
All right, Mean Gene, let's I'll roll forward here, see exactly what happened.
All right, that's Jay Stinson in the 2 and Jose Medina. Stinson makes hard contact into Parham right there 5 wide. We can see Kevin Brower gets pushed backwards. Looks like Cook and Bowling are going to make it through there safely. You can also see that 930 down below them as well. That's Hillman.
Rewind it again here. Mean Gene see a little bit more. So what I was seeing was the 57 earlier back in this whole
Stewart.
shebang.
930 is Stewart. Sorry.
All right,
Okay, here we go. So there's Guerin in the 57.
Yeah, this is where it all kind of started here, Mean Gene. They're 3 wide, and he's battling out, and then you can kind of just see where this all gets starts causing issues.
Looks like him and Sanders might have made contact at the very beginning. Guerin gets loose, comes down, taps into Walton. Parham tries to get off, gets loose. The 900 cars get really wild with it. Parham trying to deal with Guerin right there. That's Jay Stinson on the bottom in the Dude Wipes car, that number 2. Oh, and a little bit of ping pong. Guerin into the wall. Stinson comes out of it okay.
And Colin.
That looked less violent from that angle. I think this is where it gets ugly, right?
Yeah, the 2 comes down in front of the 18 and gets spun.
Oh, Buddy Sully, no, not Buddy. That's Buddy in the 21 right there hitting that rear of Jay Stinson. And then that's the 9. I think that's Kevin Brower making.
General Lee coming in. He's looking for those Daisy Dukes on the 2, but he ain't gonna find them there.
No, them Dukes.
Wow, what
Poor
a wreck.
John Beverly. I think Roscoe's gonna catch him with that kind of action in front of him. That was some insanity right there, and it all stemmed from Brandon Guerin having a little bit of looseness, and that just packed that field up tighter than your sea bag when you're changing deployments in the military. Car's getting an EOL that time. Looks like the 930 of Evan Stewart giving a EOL. Jax Duval, Bobby Dodson, and Steve Lewis. I didn't even see Louis part of that foolishness, but Louis as well running in that 88. They're just going to throw. I think they're just giving them out like candy on Halloween, and Steve Lewis also managed to get him one too.
Yeah, I think Steve Lewis might have been used as fast repair there. That's a clean looking 88 right now from what we saw earlier.
Looks like Michael Mata. Michael Mata brought it in.
Keep it going.
All right. Now, some people choosing to take advantage of this opportunity to take those pit stops, and looks like Michael Mata came into the pit. Jonathan K. Sabir, Austin Merrow, Justin Parham, those guys all coming into the pits. Cars that stayed out, Tony Iverson, he's 13 laps into this run. Still got 28 to go, so not sure if these guys can make it or not. But you can see different strategies starting to unfold right now. Tony Iverson, Noah Jackson, that is your front row. Both of these guys 13 laps into it. Behind them, Joe Volpus. Joe Volpus 32 laps on those tires to get up into that position. Jack Sanders next to him. So lots of different strategies being shown. Top 6 cars, 12 laps into this. Next 6 cars, 9 laps into this. And then once you get down to 16th and 17th place, you're going to see a couple of cars with brand new tires, 4-second pit stops. So they might have taken rights, but most likely they just put fuel into that thing to make it to the end. Tony Iverson not led very many laps here today, though. So if anybody could save fuel, it would be him drafting most of this race. Noah Jackson, he has led some laps. Going to be curious to see if the rookie has enough experience here to do that fuel mileage gas strategy in his head. Tony Iverson, inside car. He has control into the Geico restart zone. Strong start by Tony Iverson. Looks like a car got sideways on that restart, and we've got a caution immediately on the restart. Whoa, unfortunateness right there.
Mean Gene, Austin Merrill got involved in that one right there.
Not Austin Merrow. Poor Austin. He just did a pit. He just pitted so that he could do some strategy stuff, and his strategy turns into getting caught in the middle of the soup. Unfortunate for him. Somebody must have spun those brand new tires.
All right, let's take a look here at this restart.
All right, that's Hillman in that teal car. He looks okay. I could see John a case of beer in the Miller Lite behind him. That's Michael Mata, Jax Duval.
Wait a minute. Jose Medina and the 24 is where it started off.
Oh, Redinger, Medina and Redinger. Look at that. Redinger, he is our regular season champion. Not accustomed to that kind of treatment.
All right, let's take a look here.
And that's Matthew Fritz in the 48 ahead of him. Go back a little bit more. Let's see what happened. Looks like Jack Sanders is right up on Noah Jackson.
We got problems there, Mean Gene. I don't know what's going on live. Hold on a second. I'm seeing a whole bunch of foolishness here happening.
All right, they're going awful. Let's see here. That's Matthew Fritz. That is the 8 of Andrew Bolander.
Yeah, I got David Cook crashing, Mean Gene. Let me see again exactly what happened here. This is back on the backstretch. And there might be problems here. I don't know what's going on.
All right, that's Duval coming in the 84. He slowed down. Yeah. Everything looks fine. David Cook. See that 930 of Evan Stewart.
Okay, maybe it was just maybe because they were off pace there. Mean Gene was showing up on my radar here. It looked like I had a big old crasher on my hands.
It was kind of scary to look at. You know, we have seen things happen like that before.
All right. Well, I'll get us back to live
league
here.
officials. League officials will come down on you like a ton of bricks if you wreck somebody under caution. We had a recent incident with that on a Friday night race. That was fun. They DQ'd a driver, which made me move up one position in my final standing. I was very happy about that. All right, so penalties being handed out. That was a big one. The 930, Evan Stewart, Duval, Bobby Dodson, Steve Lewis. Again, those are the usual suspects. Jose Medina, black flags cleared, and Noah Jackson, connection dropped due to upload packet loss. Not ever what you want to see when you're in the middle of a race. Right now, though, we've got 27 laps remaining. Let's see who else is going to pit. Matthew Fritz coming into pit. He is in 12th and on brand new tires and fuel, so he's got to be excited. A lot of talking still down there, KK, right now. I wish I could hear what they were saying, but a part of me is glad I can't. Like Bobby Dodson being waved around that pace car is going to get a lap back.
And I'm hearing on the chat there, Mean Gene, that Noah Jackson has said his internet gave out, and he was in second.
Wow, that is a big loss. Noah Jackson in his first race here in Monday Night Mayhem MRL Cup Series was running up front, had led laps, was a consummate podium challenger, and he is out. Unfortunate end. Hopefully we will see Noah Jackson back. Noah, best wishes. Hope you get that internet fixed and get you back on track soon. Up front, though, looks like we're going to have Tony Iverson in the lead. Tony, early series leader, 2 wins on the season. That guy would love to get a 3rd win, get some more playoff points going into this final stretch once we start our 7-race playoffs. Remember, the way it works, you got 12 drivers that are going to run 3 races, do 1 round of elimination, do 3 more races, eliminate some more people going into that final 4 for that championship race, and nobody wants to be eliminated down toward the end. And only a few of us will have a wall of Chevys to help us get through to that next round. Tony Iverson in a Toyota, though, he's not going to be the beneficiary of that. He had to do it the old-fashioned way. All right, Bobby Dodson, he has fallen into place at the back of the field, that lucky dog recipient. And Tony Iverson, right now, he is your leader. Green flag, Tony Iverson, good jump. He's right in front of Colonel Sanders. Joe Volpus on the outside. He's got Sean Walton, Cullen Bollinger with him down below. You can see the 11 of David Owens. Haven't had to get the chance to call David Owens' name very much. David Cook underneath him. Cook and Owens and Cook, these 2 guys have been running strong all year long, and they still have not figured out who is the real David. Remember, there can only be one. Tony Iverson, he is running up in the front. Nice run. Joe Volpus trying to catch up. Joe Volpus is on some old tires. He don't care. He's in that Jack Daniels car, and I think he might be drinking what he's sponsoring if he thinks he's going to make it to the end with 24 laps to go, and he's 36 laps into a run in that gas tank.
Yeah, Joseph had got a little contactor with the Colonel coming out of 4. So let's see if Joe looks like he's going to continue to be dedicated to that higher line as David Owens and company look to go underneath. And here comes Sean Walton passing the 25 at the moment. 11 comes up, teammates there of each other, 07 and 11. Almost puts them into the wall. Here comes Sean Walton, big push on the 11. A little off-centered, lucky to get away with that one on Owens.
That was nuts. Right there, you can see Jack Sanders running on the bottom with Andrew Bolander, David Cook, Sean Walton running up on that outside. Owens falls into line behind Joe Volpus. Volpus trying to chase down Tony Iverson. But Tony Iverson, this guy is the commander. He knows how to make this car work. Thing is, though, this is Auto Club. There's multiple lines that you can make work, and it's easy to slide job somebody or come straight down. Look at them running in a formation. They look like the Blue Angels the way that they were coming into that turn. 5 different angles of attack going into the apex of that corner, and they all come out at exactly the same speed. Look right there, you can see Joe Volpus trying to get a little bit different of an angle to try to get some more momentum, but Iverson just glides that car right back up into that preferred lane. Volpus does get into his draft, though, so this will be curious to see if Volpus and Iverson have a little breakaway. But right behind them, you can see David Owens, David Cook, Sean Walton. A little bump by Walton propels Owens. He should get into that draft. Those top 5 cars having a little bit of a breakaway. Behind them, you can see the 8 of Bolander, Medina, and Jack Sanders as well. They'd love to get back into this thing. Remember, these guys racing for points. This is our final regular season finale before we go in there. 12 cars will make it into the playoffs. Win and you're in situation. Top guy that could take a win and be in would be Jose Medina, currently running in 6th. He could be the guy if he could pilot that 54 Chevrolet up into the lead. But right now the story is Tony Iverson. He is making it work, showing them just how fast he can drive a Toyota. Oh, they're about to get 3 wide down there with Walton, Owens, and Joe Volpus back in the field. We can see a lot of side-by-side racing. These cars still have a lot of story to tell, but you can see how they're starting to spread out, making the odds of a caution less and less. 20 laps to go. Right now, Tony Iverson on 21 laps of fuel burnt in that car. He might be able to make this thing to the end. Iverson lost at Charlotte because of a fuel situation, so you know he's hyper aware. Up in the front, though, he's the one cutting the air, and it might be difficult for him to save fuel, especially when he's got a hungry Joe Volpus and David Owens running third. KK, David Owens still looking for that first win of the year here in our Monday night series.
Yeah, David's definitely due. He's up there running those Kyle Busch Lucas paint job on a Ford, so that's an interesting choice. But in honor of Kyle Busch winning at Auto Club last year on the final race there, he's trying to do great things there for the 11.
Well, one thing's for sure, him and Kyle Busch do have something in common this season with their final finishing position. Owens would love to change that here today, get a win. Owens is already qualified for the finals. He is in the playoffs with his great season. Right now, he is second in points. But guess what? Iverson 1 point ahead of him. So this is who's going to get 7 playoff points and who's going to get 6 playoff points. Really interesting to see the 13 and the 11 as they battle. You might be wondering about that last playoff spot, the battle between Justin Parham and Steve Lewis. Steve Lewis currently being shown in 23rd place and Justin Parham being shown in 12th. So Parham would win that battle. So Louis got to make it up right now. Louis 4 laps down, going to need a miracle. But hey, I think we all saw the Patriots come back on the Falcons in that Super Bowl. So hey, it's never over till it's over, right?
Yeah, that's right. Mean Gene, as now David Cook's getting up behind this pack. And Sean Walton, they're making a big, strong push here. Jose's trying to do everything he can to hang on to this lead pack. He doesn't want to lose the draft coming out of the exits of these turns. So Jose's got to do everything he can to hold on.
Yeah, this is super speedway action right here. He does not want to fall back, because if he does, then he's back there with the likes of Bolander, Sanders, Case of Beer. Those are all hungry drivers. Medina's got to make his way up there. You know, we've seen the evolution of Jose Medina in this series, as he's gone from a guy that was involved in some early accidents, a guy that didn't know how to utilize the fast repair, to suddenly a guy that found himself getting back-to-back top 5 finishes. So Jose Medina, he's knocking on the door. He just needs to let him know who's on the outside. It's one of those knock-knock who's there. The question is it Jose? Because right now, it's Tony Iverson. Medina, though, he has made it up into that group. And, you know, speaking of that group, I am really impressed with what Joe Volpus has managed to do with that car on those older tires, KK. That is some great driving by the 07 Jack Daniels Ford right there.
Yeah, Joseph doing a great job keeping those tire temps down and using everything he can to get the most out of that car as he's battling it out.
Hey, you know what? He doesn't run all the time. So, you know, you can't hold anything back.
No, you're trophy hunting right now.
I think that's Ford can't hold anything back. So I'm going to hit that 9.
I think you're playing the drinking
really good
game.
racing. It almost is. Every time Mean Gene says you can't hold anything back, you get to drink.
Here comes
All
Cook
right,
on the outside.
Look at Medina.
Cook on the outside of the 07 as 07 got position over to 13. 07's going to come down and pitch down to 13 on exit.
This is terrifying racing. Tony Iverson, he is definitely going to back out. He does not want anything to do with those older tire cars. David Cook now shooting under Joe Volpus. You can see the 71 of Cook down there on that apron. 07 of Volpus. He should have a little bit faster exit speed. That's Walton. You can see the 11 of Owens. Iverson going straight backwards. And you know what that means? He is counting backwards. Tony Iverson has begun his speed-saving strategy at this point. Jose Medina, though, he's not counting. He just got to win this thing. And the number 8 of Andrew Bolander, just like Volpus, is out there trophy hunting. Really wild to see these different strategies and these different motives being displayed by these drivers as we are down to the final 13 laps here at Auto Club. This is Monday Night Mayhem on MRL Broadcasting. David Cook being shown as your leader.
And here comes Sean Walton on the underneath of the 07. He's going to slide back up in front of David Owens, cuts the nose off the 11. Owens isn't going to be too happy with that. Let's see what happens here coming into turn 1 here at Auto Club.
23 lets off.
Yep.
He's got to let off. They're in the same chat channel. You know, Owen's going to give him a little piece of his mind. Oh, no. Volpus gets loose, comes back up onto the track. That's going to slow Owens down. Owens tries to help his buddy out with a little tap, but that's going to let Womp Womp go around that outside, bringing David Cook with him. Here comes that number of 8 of Andrew Bolander. He gets loose. Iverson, look at these guys. This is almost 4 wide as Owens gets into Walton. He tries to hold it. He does, but he is going to lose major positions. Owens fades back to this group of 9, and David Cook, now your clean leader. David Cook, he wants that 3rd win of the season. Looky, here comes Cookie.
Here comes Sean Walton pinching down to 13 at Tony on that exit. Sean's got to get around the 07 right now if he's got any chance to keep up with David.
This is some amazing racing right now. David Owens, he's falling back into 8th. There's that lap car of Hunter Hall. He's out of the way, not a problem. Owens, he's got to make his way back up through this traffic if he's going to have a shot. Oh, contact. The 8 is in. Oh, no. That is the 8 of Bolander getting into the 54 of Jose Medina. Those are cars in that lead lap. No good. No bueno, says Jose Medina. All right, let's go to this replay right here. Yeah, definitely. You could see Medina did not need that trouble. He has got to win here today, and that is not going to help him. Yeah, that was 54 of Medina, and I think he got into it with the 8 of Bolander. He's in the grass. He's just cruising. Not the way he wanted his day to go.
Ooh, big.
Going to be interested to see about the pit strategy now. Only 10 laps to go.
Take a look here. What happened to Jose here?
All right, Medina's in that teal car on the bottom. You can see the 8 on the outside. That's Andrew Bolander. Medina comes all the way up the track. Looks like he just got loose. Brings Bolander down with him. Oh, he's driving backwards.
Through victory
Still driving
lane.
backwards. Wow. That's the only way I've ever been in victory lane, right there. Heck, I had VIP passes, tried to walk through victory lane. They told me they don't let me in there. All right, lots of pitting going on right now. Everybody going to take this opportunity. So gas is going to be off the table. Fuel is not going to be an issue for these last few laps. Probably going to take 2 more to figure it out, maybe 3, and that's going to put us into a 6 or 7 lap shootout. Going to be exciting to see how this thing is going to end. But these guys all taking that opportunity right now to come down, get that fuel. But you know what? Who doesn't need fuel? That's David Cook. David Cook is going to choose position over fuel. And right now, David Cook being shown as your leader. Jonathan Case of Beer must win situation for that number 6 Ford. He stays out there as well, second place. Kenneth Redinger, hey, you know what? The guy's already won a championship. Why not go ahead and take your 3rd win of the season? Kenneth Redinger, second row, 3rd place. Austin Marrow next to him. Glad Austin's still running. He was part of that little contact earlier. He has managed to keep that thing on the straight ever since. Austin Marrow, he is running in 4th. Michael Mata, Sean Walton, Tony Iverson being shown in 7th. So top 5 cars chose not to pit. After them, those guys did pit. Sean Walton, Tony Iverson going to be the top 2 that did pit. Colin Bollinger right after them. Andrew Bolander, who was part of that Jose Medina incident, being shown currently in 9th place. Not going to be surprised, though, if he might get one of those EEOLs. But it looked like Medina just lost it and came up the track. Wouldn't you say, KK?
I think he was getting loose there, Mean Gene. And then the Bolander just, you know what I mean, just didn't have any time
nowhere to go.
Really nowhere to go. So just more of a racing thing.
Well, you got to listen to the music. If Kenny Loggins came on Medina's radio, you know, the Footloose song, he just got loose. There's nothing you can do at that point except hold on and pray nothing goes bad. Other drivers of note, Justin Parham did pit. He is currently being shown in 11th place. Remember, Justin ran so strong at the beginning. Buddy Sully, he is in 14th place, also did pit at that stage, 14.2 pit stop. So that guy, you know, he's got 4 freshies as well as enough fuel to make it to the end. You know, something I do, KK, is when we come in for these little splash and goes, my silly booty, I end up taking like 30 gallons of fuel for no reason whatsoever, costing me time and also making me slower on the track. These guys have a lot more experience than me and Gene. So, you know, they're taking just enough fuel to make it to the end. So a couple of unforeseen cautions could also create a mathematical probability of gas issues. Lights are off on that pace car. Expecting them to go green next time around. Pace car is off. We see David Cook. He is your control car. He's on the inside coming into that Geico restart zone. Jonathan Quesabir on the outside. What a jump by Cook. He is gone so fast. That's going to put the next 2 cars side by side. That's Redinger and Quesabir side by side. Mata on the inside being pushed by Walton. What drafting action. 28 of Marrow goes up high on the track. Tony Iverson. Look at that run by Case of Beer on the outside, but it's David Cook. What is that, an 8-car lead?
Half a second lead there, Mean Gene. Half a second. It's Austin Marrow's going to give a big old push to Case of Beer as they're men on a mission right now.
Oh, he's got to get in there. Jonathan Case of Beer, he's got 7 laps to try to close this gap and win his way into the round of 12. That would be amazing to see 3 different
and 28
winners.
made contact there off the exit, and now they're heading across our finish line. They're going to get this thing figured out, but 24 of Kenneth Ranger.
Caution on the track. Oh, no, it's Buddy Sully and Colonel Sanders. Oh, and the Colonel is going to take massive damage. Oh, no. Buddy Sully, golly gee, look at that. You can see Sanders and Sully get hooked. Sully, he might be the colonel, but he also likes T-bone steaks. And he is just right in that door. That's just a racing incident right there. Not a lot can be done. They come up the track. Bobby Dodson has a horse white bath wipe moment, right? a horse bath body wipe moment.
A horse bath?
Hey, I lived in Kentucky. There's a lot of horse baths. Wow. All right. So that's the caution of the day. Looked like a racing incident. Really unfortunate. But one thing's for sure. That's definitely going to help the mathematical equations of David Cook and Jonathan Sabir trying to push their way to the end with these cars. Cook's got 31 laps of fuel burned on his car at the moment, and also with that 3.9 second pit stop that Cook took 31 laps ago, probably didn't take tires either. So this is going to give him an opportunity to cool those tires off a little bit and also start to coast that car around. Maybe he can make his way these last 6 laps and win the fuel battle. But Cook also been very fast today. Jonathan Sabir, though, only 24 laps that he's put into his fuel so far. 5.1 second pit stop. I wouldn't be surprised if he took right sides. What do you think, KK? 5.1 seconds. Can you get right sides with that, or is that just fuel?
Gene, it could be right sides. It could have been
8.3 by Kenneth Redinger. That's right sides for sure, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say that for sure. 5 might
So
just
Cook-
put the top off.
Cook right now being shown as your leader. Sabir, Austin Marrow, those 3 guys definitely took either just fuel. Kenneth Redinger, 4th place, 8.3 second pit stop. Probably took right sides. Michael Mata after them in 5th place. So those top 5 guys, they are still pushing their fuel as far as they can. After that, though, first car on a different strategy. That's going to be Tony Iverson. And look who made their way up from 13th to 7th in that quick restart. That was Justin Parham. He's got 4 fresh Goodyears on that Chevrolet. Justin Parham currently being shown in 7th place. Wouldn't be surprised if he piloted that thing up front. And hey, look who finally pitted. Joe Volpus in the 07 Ford, Jack Daniels Ford. He finally took an opportunity to pit. Really impressive, though, that he was running up front on tires that were that old. And he made that fuel run last. He was over 40 laps with that tank of fuel.
Yeah, very impressive there on Joseph's part. With 5 laps to go here, it's almost like a green-white checkered finish here, natural, and then we're gonna have 3 more chances after that if we need them. Kind of have a feeling we're gonna need them with how aggressive these guys have been up front. So just keep your eyes peeled here, see who can come out of Auto Club with a win to get themselves maybe into the playoff picture, or get their way out of it.
Yeah, we've had 2 guys win the last couple of weeks that would not have made the playoffs unless they got that Willy Wonka golden ticket, and they pulled it off. Last week, we saw Buddy Sully get the win. He's in the playoffs. The week before at Bristol, we saw Michael Mata get that dub. We've got a lot of competitive drivers here. If you at home, you're into iRacing, MRL and BRL, Moonlight Racing League, Bonfire Racing League, strong partnership. We have got the league for you, regardless of what night or morning you want to run. There's a league you could get into. You want to run the modifieds? Come on down. We'll get you on a Friday. You want to run trucks? We got you Tuesday, Thursday, Xfinity Wednesday, Cup on Monday, and Saturday and Sunday morning we also offer leagues as well. Come on down. You want to run a Legends car? Hey, we got you covered. Come on down on a Saturday night. Talk to Kevin Kyle. He'll hook you up. You got to bring your own car, though. We're not going to buy a car for you.
That's right, Eugene. That's right.
And get a Buick, because that's the only time you're going to run a Buick.
So Cook's out there on the oldest set of tires. Looks like it's got 33 laps in those tires. So let's see if he can hang on and make this thing work.
That guy runs on that outside, KK. If anybody can make it work, it's going to be David Cook. He's got 2 wins on the season. The guy, 1 less start than everybody else, yet he managed to find himself 7th in points. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take that dub. But another guy, I'm telling you, man, that number 6 of Jonathan Quesabir, that guy is on fire. He has been due for a win. We saw him win in the Wednesday Night League. We're going green. He's on the outside. The 71 at Cook gets a strong start. But look at Redinger pushing Quesabir hard on that outside lane. We're going to see exactly how this is going to end. Like you said, 2 laps to go. This thing is going to be wild.
Yeah, Quesabir doing a great job using the inside lines. Got to be careful with the Redinger on the outside. He's going to do a great job of shutting that down. Hopefully the 24 gives him a nice push. He's got to keep his car wide.
Look at the move by Mata. Wow, these at 16 car. What a crazy person.
Yeah, Mata sees the inside. Quesabir sees the inside run, but now 24's got the outside run. He needs to get back out in front. He does.
They're in the wall. Oh my word.
Redinger gets back up in a wall.
5 wide. What is happening? It's chaos. It's pandemonium. This is great racing. Quesabir trying to make it work. David Cook trying to run away. Look at the run by Mata in between. He splits Redinger and he splits Austin Marrow to get a run. That 16's got to keep it straight. Oh, good move there by Marrow to avoid the action. 1 lap to go. David Cook right now with that half-second lead. There's no way Quesabir can overcome it. Tony Iverson comes out of nowhere to take his place into second. This is some great racing, but it looks like it's going to be the 71 of David Cook coming across strong. What a move.
This is the final lap there, I think.
This is insane racing. Look at Iverson. He wants to take the win from Cook. Quesabir on the outside, strong run. Kenneth Redinger in the 24. A little bit further back, you can see Joe Volpus making a play for it. It's David Cook, though. He's got that lead of almost... Oh, my rating changed. Interesting. 0.2 seconds.
David Owens crashed. We got a crash in the back, but it's a race to the finish here. Quesabir trying to get his positions back past the 24, but is not going to make it. It's Colin Bollinger's going to... Oof.
What a move by Iverson. Iverson with that strong charge. He took over 4 positions there at the end to get as close as he could, but it's David Cook, 38 laps that he had on that gas tank and more on those tires to bring it to the win. David Cook with the dub, Tony Iverson. And you know what, Iverson, that is going to be enough points for him to pass David Owens and put him square into second place on the regular season finish. So Iverson, along with those wins and his perfect attendance record, Iverson also is going to finish second place and get 7 points that way. Colin Bollinger, a Wednesday night veteran, shows up and he's going to take third. Kenneth Redinger, our regular season champion, fourth. Jonathan Quesabir needed to win and get in. Unfortunately, 5th place for him. Not going to do it. Good year for Jonathan. Expecting nothing but bigger things from him as the season goes on. 6th place, Matthew Fritz. That guy just always manages to find himself right there in that top 5. Always solid runs out of that 48 Chevrolet. Andrew Bolander, 7th. Austin Marrow, 8th. Jax Duval, 9th. And Justin Parham is going to finish in 10th. Parham will finish in points ahead of Lewis for that final spot in our playoffs. Congratulations to Parham. Points will be updated hopefully while we are finishing this broadcast. What an exciting race. Lots of 3 and 4 wide racing, Kevin. I was expecting a few more. We had a lot of cautions, but I expected more the way those guys were driving out there.
Yeah, I thought they weren't going to make it to the white flag, but thankfully they did. And thankfully David Cook, that's what he needed. It was just to get to that last lap, and he was untouchable there. I'm really impressed with his tire saving ability, and especially against guys that have newer tires. So hats off to David, and great job.
Look at this. I'm looking at Discord right now. Nobody is joining us in Discord. They are all terrified. I guess they don't want to talk. I tell you what, the first person that I'm going to surprise and pull down in is going to be Michael Mata. That guy was so fast at the end, and then he vanished. So I'm going to get Mata down here, and let's put him on the spot, see what happened. Hey, Michael Mata, Mean Gene Money here. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up?
Buddy, you were on fire cutting through that field, and then all of a sudden you kind of vanished. Can you bring me through what happened to you those last few laps?
Well, it was hard to pass tonight, and tires didn't mean that much, so I kind of flipped it with tire strategy, and that's the only way I was going to get up front. I just didn't have it tonight.
No, we did see you early going for that strategy, and then there was that caution that kind of threw things off. You, Kay Sabir, and Bobby Dodson, teammates, seemed like y'all were trying to experiment, get a different run. But once those cautions came in, it kind of threw you off. Michael, we were pulling for you, but guess what? We're going to keep on pulling for you because that win at Bristol you had 2 weeks ago, that's going to push you right into that playoff situation. Michael Mata, pilot of the number 16 car. Looking forward to seeing you in playoffs, Michael. Good run today, bud. Sorry it didn't work out for you, but it was exciting for us to watch. Anybody you want to say hi to?
Thanks. I mean, I got to shout out the teammates, Case Beer and Dodson. So it's been fun running with them. I don't know. Still waiting on points. Don't know who's going to make it in of those guys. But
that's why it's nice to win, right? You don't have to do math, do you?
But I can't wait for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Justin Parham's going to end up getting that last spot. I think he had enough points over Steve Lewis. So if you're down there looking at that part, I think Parham is going to end up taking that spot from the 88. But we're good run. Expected to see a little bit further. Michael Mata, he is one of the younger drivers that has just come on so fast. Him and Buddy Sully both expecting to see those challenge the leaders as we are moving forward. Michael, have a great night, bud. Thanks for your race this evening.
Hey, same to you. Thanks for the broadcast.
Yes, sure. All right. I'm going to give us, let's see if I can find another guy. They're hiding from me, KK. They're hiding. I think they know I want to talk to them and they don't want to talk about it.
Well, I mean, after a race like that, it's sure took a lot out of these drivers, the high intensity all night long we got to watch. So,
well, I really wanted to pull in Medina. I really wanted to pull in Jose Medina. That guy was so close to the end, but looks like we're not going to get him. That's fine. I'll tell you what we're going to do, though. We're going to pull in a Wednesday night veteran who's making his Monday night debut for this season. That's going to be the 53 of Colin Pullinger. Hey, Colin, you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
What is the deal, man? Were you trying to pull a Kyle Busch and show up in a truck series? What's going on out there?
Well, I mean, I didn't have nothing to do tonight, so I was just trying to have fun. I was actually trying to race last week, but old David Owens didn't get back to me right away, and then he said tonight I can hop in and run. So that was all we were doing, just having fun tonight.
I'll tell you what, lots of the Wednesday drivers made an appearance tonight. Really fun to watch you guys out there and showing exactly the competition level is about equal on both those sides. The Xfinity on Wednesday night, we run the Cup on Monday night, but we dropped you in a next-gen Toyota and we watched you pilot that thing up into that third place. That last lap, there was a lot of action. We saw some 3-4 wide racing. Those last couple of laps, though, David Cook took off. Tell me about Tony, though. Tony just snuck up on you. I mean, did you not think about throwing a block, or what was the deal?
I'm not even sure. I was so focused about in front of me. Like, I know there was a couple times we were 3-4 wide. I think I sent a 16 going into 3 by accident, because I couldn't really hear my spotter, and he kind of told me it sounded like he said go low, and I did, and I ended up punting him through the corner. I mean, I'm just glad we ended up staying in the top 10, which we got P3, so it was good. I was hoping that we wouldn't have messed around so much, because I think the maybe top 4 guys on the restart didn't have any tires, and we just put freshies on, so I was hoping to get a run up there and maybe win, but it took a little too much time to maneuver through everybody.
It did. You definitely had the fresher tires, and up until we saw that last move. You were looking forward, but there was a guy behind you that was doing the same thing. You didn't hear the Jaws music, and you needed a bigger boat. Colin Bollinger, pilot of the 53 Toyota, also he is in the playoffs on Wednesday. Come back and see Colin on Wednesday as we will be going into the second race there. Colin, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just the same old guys. Sean Walton was in there tonight, Andrew Belander, and D. Smith. He was pretty much spotting for all 3 of us at certain points throughout the night. So just those guys. Hunter Manley too. He's not here tonight, but we always shout him out. So those guys.
Hey, good stuff, brother. I'm glad you could run tonight. Always a pleasure to watch you run, Colin, and looking forward to see you on Wednesday. Good luck that night, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, KK, I think you've got Tony in there next, bud.
Hey, Tony, great job there coming in P2. I was hoping you could chase down old David there on those older tires, but what seemed to be the difference there at the end?
I mean, I kind of threw myself off when I ran into the 3 car. It was looking like a 23 car to me, but took out Owens. I felt bad about that. It just happened quickly. I thought with him being up top, he was going to be moving a little faster, but ran into him, took out Owens, and then I don't know. I think I just kind of got in my own head about that because I really don't like wrecking anybody. And coming to the white flag, I realized I was in second place, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Oh, fecal matter. I think I might have a way to win this race. And then I overdrove the hell out of turn 1 and 2 and had to back off a little bit. And on the white flag lap, and that messed it up for me. I think if I drive that corner the way I had the entire race, then I make a pretty easy move in 3 and 4. But yeah, you know, it was just a tire situation. But ballsy move by Cook, and it's cool to see stuff like that work. So yeah, congratulations to him.
Yeah, it usually doesn't, and that's why we're all kind of amazed by it. That's a awesome job there by David. But yeah, thank you, Tony, for showing up tonight. As always, you're always a pleasure to watch out there on the track. So any shout outs or anything left you want to do before you sign off?
Yeah, I just want to holler at Owens and apologize again to him, and then Buddy too, running with me tonight, and then want to apologize to the 23 car, even though he said I was dive bombing people. Has he ever considered that maybe they're just slowing down too early? And then the other thing I wanted to say is thank you to you guys for the broadcast once again. I can't wait to check it out later, and yeah.
Boy, congratulations on the race there, Tony, and we'll be looking forward to watching you in the playoffs this coming next week.
Awesome. I look forward to it too. Thank you.
That was Tony Iverson. You know, he did take over second place with that run today. He got second in the race. Also going to finish second in the points after that great run. And ladies and gentlemen, third time is a charm. Winner here today at Auto Club. Most wins on the season. That is David Cook, pilot of the 71 Chevrolet, finding his way to victory lane. David Cook, are you there, my friend?
I'm here, guys. How's it going?
I tell you what, David, if I was any better, I would be you. You got 3 wins on Wednesdays, and after tonight, you got 3 wins on Mondays. Going to take that thing into the playoffs. When did you know you were going to drive that thing to the end? That it was this is my bed, I'm going to sleep in it. When did you make that call in that last stage?
Yeah, I was at my last pit stop there. I decided I was just going to go for it from there and stick with the tires I had and run the thing into the wall if I needed to.
Nobody else having the fortitude to make that call. Steve Lewis finished 12th. He was similar to you. He was 2 laps later than you. But everybody else had 27 laps less of fuel burned than you. Maybe they took right sides when you did it, David. You heard Tony say right there, you know, hell of a call by you and your crew. I don't think it would have mattered with those pits. The way you were running that outside line, so many of these cars started to get tight at the end. We didn't see that happen with your car. Were you just aware of tire temp, or were you just was the car just that dialed in tonight?
I think it's just trying not to get overly excited with the corners here and just trying to stay calm. And, you know, the battling is going to be intense here no matter what. And, you know, it's going to be 3-4 wide. And it's just trying to keep the wits to yourself and just, you know, try not to get into a wreck and go from there, really. And, yeah, I just kept trying all different lines because I wasn't able to practice like I usually do throughout the week, and found a few nice little sweet spots there through 3 and 4 and just kept hitting those, and off we went.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. There was at one point you were in the lead, and the 4 cars behind you all chose a different entry point, and you guys looked like the Blue Angels out there in a formation as you were trying to find that different apex. Yet you all kind of came out at that same spot. So even though this track is really wide, it looked like a lot of it became a similar line toward the end. How much of this was kind of similar to Homestead almost? You guys had a lot of 4 and 5 wide racing out there. Did you see similarities between this track and that one?
Yeah, a little bit, I would say for sure. I think the runs here on the back straightaway were a lot more. So it was, it was different to take in, that's for sure. And I was trying not to push too hard and not get pushed too hard myself. And yeah, it was a lot of fun tonight. The speed was high and the intensity was high. Everything was pretty awesome.
Oh, they were gunning for you out there, and especially since you had those guys that run on Wednesdays all of a sudden showing up. You know, Andrew Bolander, Colin Bollinger, Sean Walton. These guys normally known for being Wednesday drivers. You run both series, so you were very familiar with those guys. So you know they would have loved to have come out and ruined your day. But David, not having any of it. David Cook, number 71, running that outside lane. Also, though, running that inside lane. Really good adaptability today. Adapt, improvise, overcome. You can't hold anything back. David Cook not doing it. Opened up a can of whoop ass. Cook 316 says you just got your ass whooped. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, for sure. My family, all my friends that support me in my racing, everything. I really appreciate it. Tony Iverson, great job on second, man. You're an incredible driver. Colin, same way, man. I have a great time racing with you on Wednesdays. Owen, same thing. These guys are just incredible to race with every week, and everybody's at the top of their game right now. So I can't even imagine what the chase is going to be like. And thank you to you guys every week for putting this on, and everybody showing up and watching us, guys. And simwrapmarket.com and go get yourself a hot ass wrap.
There it is. You heard it right there. David Cook, the winner of the last regular season race. He's going to go into the playoffs with all that momentum. And remember, David Cook didn't win the regular season, but he had more wins than anybody else. Thank you, David. Roval next week, my friend. I hope you learned how to turn a car right as well as left, because it's going to be exciting. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. David Cook takes home the win. Iverson and Wednesday veteran Colin Bollinger. That is your top 3. Amazing race. KK, final thoughts.
Just loved. I wish I could have been racing out there. It looked like a lot of fun. Love Auto Club, and these guys put on one heck of a show for us. And like Tony said, it's really cool to see David be able to work those tires that long. He's been kind of known to do that. Him and Tony are really great at that. So it'll be really interesting to see them at a road course this season. And looking forward to next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Next week, we begin our 7-race playoff series. Remember, we're going to have 3 races. We're going to eliminate 4. We'll have 3 more races. We'll eliminate 4. And then we will go into that championship race where we wrap it all up. 7 races left. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. And we will continue to bring you all of this exciting action as we move forward with the rest of the season. I'm going to hit that refresh button one more time and see if we got the updated points. We did not, but Kenneth Redinger is your regular season champion. Congratulations. Tony Iverson, second in points. David Owens, third. Matthew Fritz, fourth. Jax Duvall, fifth. All of these guys will get playoff points. We will update those, give you a graphic next week so you can see what we're walking into. Next week, we will be at the Roval for our first race of 7 as we are into our playoff season. I am Mean Gene Money, the voice of MRL, with my tag team partner, Kevin Kyle, KK, our producer, doing all the hard work and heavy lifting. We are going to be signing off from Auto Club. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, bottoms up and hammer down.